Hello everybody, this is BadHell24 here again. No introduction needed for this one. Y'all know what's going down. Y'all know what is happening. We're here to react to the two Dronkey theories that Theorizer has here. Shrek theory, how do Donkey and Dragon have children? And how do dragons, or how do Dronkeys exist and why Dronkeys can exist? I've been told that this one is both the most important and the least important theory in this overarching Dreamless theory. I'm excited to see what's happening here. Let's just get right into it. Again, no long introduction for this one. 3, 2, 1, go.
Shrek. This movie has twist after twist after twist and many mysteries.
Yes.
In my last Shrek video, which I posted a year ago, I delved even deeper into the fairy godmother's plan and explained all of it, including the parts not explicitly said in the movie. And this time, I'm going to explain how the dragon can have mutant donkey babies.
Alright, let's go. 2017.
I'm the Theorizer.
Hi.
I'm going to call these things Donkagons. I know that everyone else seems to call them Dronkeys, but I think Donkagons sounds way cooler. And before we start, remember, this is just my theory as to how all of this works. I don't know if this is obvious or if others have considered it, but it's just for fun, and I feel like I can explain it for those who don't know. Besides, I love making Shrek videos. Alright, I'm ready. Let's Shrek-explain these atrocities.
Alright, so of course he's gonna get into, like, the whole entire subplot of Donkey and Dragon, you know, apparently being married and having kids. I mean, you know, Donkey and Dragon having kids, you know, it's just Shrek things. I want to hear what the Theorizer thinks as to how they can have children and how these things can exist. I think we're going into the biology portion of this. It's getting crazy.
It's no secret that Donkagons are impossible. They are hideous abominations to nature, and no donkey can breed with a dragon.
True.
I mean, how in the name of Donald Trump would that work? Honestly, I don't even want to explain the traumatizing procedure, dare I say, trek, that this noble state would need to venture on to accomplish this. Oh my god, I just barfed. My point is, Donkagons are paranormal little freaks of nature. They don't happen.
Well, maybe they do.
The logic of something as redunculous as Shrek. Unless they are aided by something, of course, that is not natural. Something supernatural. So what do we know in these movies to be supernatural? Well, the magic, of course. And as Puss in Boots says, the fairy godmother is the largest supplier of hexes, potions, and magic in the whole world.
And we know about the fairy godmother, or should we call her by her real name, Dama Fortuna. If you had not been following everything up to this point, I highly suggest you watch the other theories in this, because he's probably going to touch on things that he went over in those theories in this video, and of course he's skipping over the you know, Amazing Shrek Conspiracy Timeline that he made apparently a year ago at this point. And we had a bunch of these videos come up here. Now we'll react to the two-part Dronkey theory. And next time that we meet, I'm not ending this video now, but I'm just saying, probably tomorrow or somewhere, then we will be kind of analyzing and reacting to this Madagascar mind-blowing conspiracy theory. Cool.
Whole kingdom. So does this somehow root back to the fairy godmother?
Maybe.
Well, it isn't like this part pixie pain in the pants ever even met Dragon.
True.
At least not
Maybe.
directly. Well, I suppose there was the fact that she created the dragon to guard Fiona's tower, but I'm referring to after that. She never cared to help Donkey and the dragon. Why would she do anything to help them achieve their happily little quaint mutant family? And so, I reprised that last line I made. It wasn't directly. The fairy godmother's happily ever after potion was stolen from her cottage by Shrek and his bumbling buffoons. When Shrek drank from it, he and Fiona shifted into humans. It also changed various other things rather than just their bodies. See how when Shrek transforms back into an ogre, his clothes change back with him. Initially, when he became human, they never did that. His clothes just stayed the same, as they didn't really need to change. But basically from this, we know that it isn't just their bodies that change.
Yeah.
It's everything that pulls together their happily ever after.
Of course.
That's how the potion literally works. Notice how Donkey and Shrek change forms at the exact same time, despite the fact that Donkey drank the potion slightly earlier than Shrek. Also, notice how Donkey turns back into a donkey at the exact same time. And this can only mean one thing. The potion he drank was not responsible for his transformation into a horse. It was Shrek and Fiona's potion that changed him.
What? It was their drinking of the same potion. Okay, so when he says it was their potion, he means that it was their drinking of that same potion that turned them into... Okay, that makes sense. Okay. Thanks for that.
The fact that it changes him at both the same times as Shrek, and that we already know that other things change with this potion, proves in every way that Donkey was turned into a stallion because of Shrek and Fiona's drinking,
Yeah.
not because of the one he drank. And why did he change? Because in their happily ever after,
He was a noble steed.
called him their noble steed.
Yeah.
So, based off of this incredibly powerful potion, he was altered into
Yeah, technically, since he's a noble
a
steed.
noble steed.
Yeah.
If he drank the potion himself, why would he turn into a noble steed? It just doesn't make sense, but here, with this explanation, it does, and it fits in pretty much every way. But, I suppose you could argue that they all simply changed at midnight and then had like 24 hours of lasting effect, but that was never a rule or a law it had, and the chance of that...
Exactly. There were never any rules for that happily ever after potion. It was just there. Like, you drank it, and you became your happily ever after. Of course, Shrek being, a human, the knight, and of course Donkey being the noble steed, he turned into a horse, because noble steed, horse. In Knight's Tales, the noble steed's always a horse, so, makes sense. How does that pertain to the dragon, though? Like, how does that pertain to the dragon and donkey, and them having baby donkey-dragon hybrid babies? When donkey became a horse. My sister just texted me. Hold on. Hang on, my sister just texted me. Here.
is never stated as likely or probable. Besides, even if it were likely, it wouldn't really matter when you consider the noble steed fact, and also what I'm about to say. And what does this all mean?
Yeah, what does it
How am I
mean?
tying this all to the Dunk-Gongs? Well, right after Donkey drank the potion,
Yes?
Shrek said that it probably wouldn't work on donkeys. Yet,
It did.
would work on an ogre? Why would it be fit for an ogre and not a donkey? Aren't they both animals? So we know that it would still likely work on a donkey anyway, since it works on Shrek, but I'm guessing it's directly intended for humans only. And so,
Yeah.
this arises the question, what would result from Donkey drinking it? Most viewers of the movie didn't second.
Here's the thing. Because he said that it wasn't Donkey's potion that gave him the ability to turn the horse, it was Shrek's potion that turned them into a thing, because Shrek's happily ever after is him being human and Donkey being a horse. So, makes sense. But, that is the question that I think most people probably want answered. If Donkey drank the happily ever after potion, what would his happily ever after be like? Because it wouldn't turn him into a horse. Him drinking his own potion would not turn him into a noble steed. So what would happen? That's a theoretical, and he's probably going to explain what his theory is.
Guess it. And those who did assumed the dragon either became a stallion like Donkey, or more likely, a larger, shinier, more powerful dragon. And while both of those are good, it doesn't explain the fact that Donkey only became a horse because of Shrek drinking the potion.
Doesn't.
So what really happened when Donkey drank it? Dun 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 dun! Dunkaguns. These little mutant freaks of nature are the result of Donkey drinking the happily ever after potion. What does it promise? Divine beauty, happiness, and comfort. Does it say that this beauty must be physical? No, it does not. Is happiness limited to ogres becoming humans?
No.
Of course it's not. The beauty of a family and something magic could sustain, and, oddly enough, DreamWorks made this potion say maximum strength on it, for literally no extra random reason. Why that significance? Unless, of course, it was intended to do something big, like engage childbirth from miles upon miles away. And while it may have the power to do that, it's not like the fairy godmother actually
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Yeah.
But what we do indeed know is that this fairy godmother's magic has the capability to create offspring that isn't the same breed. Want a direct example? Prince Charming. A fairy has a human son.
I was gonna say.
Certainly. Out of the question? I think not. We've seen it twice now. Also, Dragon shows up in the after credits with her Dunkgons, having virtually zero weighing effect on the rest of the story. It's just so random and out of the blue, as they could have just as easily introduced them in the third movie. This being DreamWorks, there's always a significance to everything, making it likely that this final scene does in fact have some effect on the main story.
So no, Dragon also does a little smoke heart thing here at the camera. Yeah, she does. She does the heart thing at the camera for the viewers. Probably, as I'm gonna answer the question, probably to reference what the potion did. Because, unless... Here's the thing. Here's the thing. We know that the potion is not limited to physical beings. So, if the potion made the Dronkeys, or the Donkagons, as, you know, Theorizer is saying, if the potion made them, then the dragon would have known that the potion existed, at least. Would have known that the potion at least existed, and that's why she suddenly has these babies that are part donkey, part dragon. It wouldn't be out of the question to say that she knew what the potion did and is now signaling to the viewers like, hey, this was the result of the potion. You know, it's not entirely the question, and it's a key feature that probably all of us miss. It's crazy.
Making it likely that this final scene does in fact have some effect on the main story. And what would that possibly be? Oh, right, happily ever after potion. Sorry, this is just me quickly butting in while editing, and I want you to notice something. Notice how when they're all transforming back, it's only Shrek and Fiona who are really glowing.
Yeah.
Donkey just glows a little bit. This shows how it is all revolving around them, and that him turning into a steed is due to Shrek drinking it.
Of course.
They begin to flash out uncontrollably, while Donkey kind of just glows a little and shapeshifts. And one more point I have. Donkey fell asleep a few seconds before Shrek. This is because Donkey drank the potion a few seconds before Shrek, and was affected slightly before, but then they both transformed at the same time when Shrek fell asleep. I repeat, it is Shrek's drinking of the potion that turned Donkey. But there's one unfortunate blockage in this theory that will be hard to work around. Shrek and Fiona needed to kiss before midnight if they wanted to stay in their new form.
Yeah.
This is the only flaw in my Donkagon happily ever after theory. Donkey and the dragon never kissed before midnight, as she was likely back in the swamp.
That's true. They never kissed, so how did they keep the babies? That's interesting. How did they keep the babies if the babies was a result of the potion? Because, as we know from the later movies, the Dronkeys are in those later movies, so we don't know how that happened. If you have to kiss to get into your true form and to keep the effects of the potion, how do the Dronkeys exist? How do they exist? That is... I never wanted to question that until now. How do they exist if Donkey and Dragon never kissed? Even in the Shrek theories, I'm getting mind blown. What the fuck? Even in Shrek theories, I'm getting fucking mind-boggling blown, and we haven't even gotten to the Mort theories yet. Holy shit, we haven't even gotten to the one where the Mort theories spiral out of control.
He does return at the very end. So, how exactly does this potion work then? We We have a bucket full of evidence and a supernatural answer to a supernatural problem, but this midnight kiss rejects.
Yeah, or lack thereof of
Let's
in
try
like
and
this.
work around this little barricade. This potion doesn't have many rules, but the big rule is to kiss your true love by
Yes.
midnight and make its effects permanent.
And take
But
true
here's the
love's true
thing.
form.
Dunkagons are literally born creatures. They cannot just fly back into the womb and be unborn. And disappearing into thin air isn't really a standard option either. So that's one kind of sort of reason. But then I also realized that Donkey was affected by the potion when Shrek took it.
Yes.
And he was also affected by his own drinking of it. So could Shrek and Fiona's undoing of the potion have somehow affected donkeys? That too is a possibility, but there's still more possibilities. Notice how Donkey himself wasn't exactly the one who was changed by the potion, it was his wife. Do you think this could have led to the effects on his love interest being full on? And
Huh.
we may never know. But there's one thing I do know. If there's anything that the Shrek universe has taught me, it's that there's always a way to work around the laws of magic. See Rumpelstiltskin in the fourth movie. All of his contracts have a way to get out of them, but there are also other reasons why Donkey didn't need to kiss. And I have another option as to why it could have worked still. Another option is that maybe Shrek was right, and it works differently on donkeys. All of the evidence is here, and there are many different ways for Donkey and the Dragon to work around these rules, without even knowing it. So, I'm going to leave you with that. Shrek and Fiona's potion losing effect was sent through Donkey and Dragon. Or, Donkagons can not be unborn. Or, Donkey's lack of current effects of the potion he drank led to dragons being amplified and permanent. Or, it's different than Donkey.
Or
Either way, though, this theory has value to it, and there's always a way to work around things like the potion's rules, especially when you are a donkey and a dragon. Also, and here's the big one, which I think is the correct answer. Notice how the one final warning on the potion is that it's not intended for those who are hyperactive or nervous. And this is likely for comedic effect of parodying medications, but regardless, Donkey shows to be quite hyperactive, and Shrek looks at him worried. So is that the official workaround? Does Donkey only partially qualify, thus breaking the rules? I think that fits, as, well, this is surprisingly random, and Shrek and Puss look at Donkey as he's acting all hyperactive. Such a weird thing to do.
it's a weird thing.
DreamWorks. So that's most of what I've got for now. But I do know this. I am not done with this theory. I will try to return to it when I get a successful conclusion on how this potion's rules really work. I will decide on an answer. It has to be one of those 5 reasons, but most likely, the last one. Donkey breaking the warnings can result in altered outcomes. Or maybe it's a good mix of all of them. Either way, until next time, I am the Theorizer, and I thought this theory was a really fun one to come up with and share with you guys.
So, instead of just waiting for it, because this video is already 18 minutes long now, let's just go ahead and hop right into the conclusion, the second part of this Dronkey theory on why Dronkeys can't exist because of this potion's
abomination.
because of the potion's weird ass rules that are in Shrek.
In the Shrek films that are the Dronkeys, or as I call them, Donkagons, shouldn't be able to exist, right? What kind of crazy magic is this? A donkey cannot reproduce with a dragon.
And I'm sorry if the sound's
insane. Luckily, about a year and a half ago, I'd spent weeks thinking it over, and I ended up making a full-blown video explaining what I think allowed these things to be born. Click the eye icon in the top right corner now if you want to view that first.
We've already watched
this is a big follow-up to that video. Basically, I ended up deducing that the happily ever after potion Donkey drank actually did have an effect on his true love. It made her into some kind of super dragon that allowed her to birth the abominations, all in the name of magical true love. This is supported by loads of evidence, and most people agreed with me on the idea. But there were a couple of fundamental flaws in my theorizing that I only noticed after uploading. However, I can successfully say that these so-called flaws are nothing more than mere stepping stones to expanding the theory even more.
Let's go. Let's hear it.
Hello, I am the Theorizer, and guess what?
What?
I sound like I have something in my mouth during this recording. It's just because I've been quite sick for the past, several months, and that would just be, well, a repercussion of that. But guess what in regards to the theory? There's an immediate freaking bombshell of proof that Donkey drops in Shrek the Third that could be construed as a comedic joke, but the way it ends up logically playing off legit proves my whole theory. Shrek's all like, how could this happen? In reference to Fiona's pregnancy.
Yeah.
And Puss in Boots hilariously begins to explain the reproduction process. Shrek cuts him off and says that's not what he meant. Then the joke. Donkey asks Puss, well, how does it happen? This, right here, people. Donkey very openly confirms that he has no idea how babies are made.
Yeah.
Yet he has a ton of children.
How?
Dragon comes to Far, Far Away at the very end of Shrek 2, and Donkey is shocked that babies are there. He just assumes that it happened. The only indicator that Donkey had before was that he said Dragon was being very moody at the beginning of the film, but he had no idea why. And he's shocked. Wait. At the beginning of Shrek 2, Donkey says Dragon is moody. At the end of the film, it's revealed that this is because she was secretly pregnant, and Donkey, with his redonkulous anti-knowledge of reproduction, had no clue he'd be a father. But this means that if drinking the magic potion caused the Dronkeys to be created, then why was Dragon indicating her pregnancy before they even
Yeah.
Well, this was the main and only criticism of my theory here, and I'm here to tell you it actually supports it. Dragon clearly had some crazy abomination brewing. Donkey doesn't know much about the reproductive process, but clearly something happened, intentional or not. Whether he knew it would create babies or not, that caused her to become fertilized. And here's what my theory's point is. Dragon's birthing process would have been a horror show. This is unnatural, and no DNA would ever reform naturally into a split between a donkey and a dragon. She would have given birth to a litter of dead fetuses, broken, deceased, completely malformed babies that had no resemblance to either of them. This is why she was moody. She was pregnant. The potion didn't put the children into her, it healed them by temporarily making her some sort of super dragon so that she could successfully give birth to creatures that otherwise could never exist without the aid of magic. Anything she wanted would be born, a happily ever after, not a damaged and half-developed mess of organic matter. So then comes the big one. How are they still alive? Donkey is no longer a horse, and Dragon stopped being whatever crazy, enormous dragon Pegasus thing she became. So shouldn't the Dronkeys become unborn? Shouldn't they straight up die? No. And here's why. They are unique. They are actual balls of life that were created by the spell. They cannot be undone. They aren't just physically altered things resulting from the potion. The potion actually birthed them. In fact, some people pointed out something else. Yes, the writers originally had Dragon become a Pegasus, which would suggest that the Dronkeys looked like much more beautiful creatures before the potion wore off. Now they look slightly mutated, but it can't go so far as to unbirth them. It only went part way. Or maybe they'll get progressively dumber before dying in the 5th movie, I don't know. I mean, Charming was birthed by the fairy godmother's magic as well, and also by a king, as I proved in a brilliantly awesome 4-part series I did, which I love.
Yeah, he kind of went over how Prince Charming was born by basically saying that the fairy godmother got around with a royal king that was in the family and birthed Prince Charming, but then was exiled because that would have tainted the royal name. It's a very good theory. It's a very awesome theory. Y'all should watch these Shrek theories. I don't know if y'all are, but y'all should watch these Shrek theories, because they will come in handy when we get to the Mort sections and the other sections, and it's gonna get crazy. It's gonna get wild, and it's going to get absolutely mind-bogglingly crazy from this point on, because we have more and more videos. Let's go. Continue.
Also, as the YouTube commenter CJ Harris pointed out, Dragon merely giving birth to the Dronkeys or kissing them or whatever could have passed on the spell. After all, they weren't the ones intended to be affected by the spell, they were byproducts of it.
and if the magic transfers, the undoing of the spell won't affect them either, since they are no longer in the womb. They can self-sustain because they are the potion. Additionally, as I said in part 1, the potion's rules directly state that nobody hyperactive should be drinking the potion.
Yeah,
and
Donkey
is, well, immediately after drinking it, displaying that he's hyperactive. Shrek intentionally looks worried about the side effects this could have. Say, like, supercharging its effects on the other lover? I'm not sure, but again, they make a point about highlighting this warning on the potion. Or maybe its effects could have gone weird because Donkey can speak, and maybe he's not a real donkey. Anyways, that's my rebuttal to the debunkers. This theory is having the lid closed on it. For now. And until the next theory, which will likely be even deeper and on a sillier topic, yes, I'm the Theorizer. Don't forget to click the subscribe button below the video, because if you do, you'll be able to see when I upload my next analysis. If you want to be even more sure that you'll know of its existence, click the little bell next to the subscribe button, and then select all instead of occasional. Thanks, bye. See you later, alligators of hopefully a more stable cellular structure than these horrific behemoths of supernaturally terrifying nature.
And with that, I will be signing off with this video. That was very, very cool. A very, very interesting theory. Set of 2 parts of theories here. I can only assume that it's going to get wilder from here on out, because we have the DreamWorks one, then we have the Head one, then we have a Mort theory, then we have some Megamind theories, and then we have another set of Mort theories, one of which are just spiraling into chaos, as I can see from here. So those are going to be long videos. Those are going to be singular videos each, just like how we did singular videos for the first 6 Mort theories. The last 3 videos in this set will be their own singular video, because I don't think you guys want to watch an hour-long video of me watching theories. So, although if you do, comment down below if you want me to watch all 3 of these in a singular sitting, because that'll be actually fucking wild. But until then, I am BatAtHole24, and join me next time for watching the mind-blown conspiracy for Madagascar. I will see all of you in the next video. Later.